Wish is one of 4 horses coming back to the Breeders' Cup to defend his title. In a dramatic finish last year, he won the Big Ass Fans Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, and the young man that he is associated with, Cody Dorman, was on hand for more than a feel-good story at last year's Breeders' Cup. It was the story, one we'll be talking about for 20 years from now. And what about Cody's Wish coming back into this year? He had a fast pace to run into last year. What is he looking at with this field that he takes on?
There wasn't a whole lot of, I mean, for a dirt mile race, didn't seem to be a ton of speed in there, but I think, you know, he had a sharp workout. I would rate, look, all the horses look great, right? We're dealing with Breeders' Cup horses, top of their game. They all look good. I would put this horse in one of the best works of the week. Him, White Barrio looked good, but I thought his work was phenomenal, the way he worked out. I think he's sitting on a huge race. Do you think that that also typifies a barn? Because I would say overall, watching the Bill Mott horses, they've all come out and impressed. No, they look, and it goes like that. I mean, the year I came out here in 1997 with, I think for Bill, we had, you know, 2 in the Distaff, we had 1 in the mile and 1 in the Classic. All 4 of them, well, 2 of them ran 1-2 in the Distaff. The other one was 3rd behind Skipway at 50 to 1 in the Classic, and the other one ran 2nd to Spinning World. So it kind of gave me that feel watching him this week. I totally agree with you. I think we've watched all 4 of his horses, and they've looked tremendous. They all look in great shape. Yeah, we're talking about 4 horses coming back to defend their titles. 2 of them are in the Bill Mott barn. Elite Power going to be trying to defend that title in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. As far as a mile on the main track here at Santa Anita, it's more of the typical 1-mile dirt trip at most 1-mile ovals in America. Keeneland was always, you got to kind of be on the inside, and that finish line comes up right away. But are there any concerns here, or is there advice about where the winning move is made? I don't think so. I mean, like you said, it's a 1-mile oval that, you know, short run into the first turn. You've got to get position into the first turn. That's the key with any race around 2 turns. That's the key move. A horse that I don't think people have been talking about enough, but I know you like a lot, is Practical Move. He was the winner of the Santa Anita Derby. He was headed to the Kentucky Derby, got sidelined. We did not see him until this fall back here at Santa Anita in his return. You loved his return race. Yep. So Tim Yachtine could have been tempted to go on to the Breeders' Cup Classic because this horse was always meant for that level of competition, but he looked at it in the long term of this horse's career. Let's point towards the Classic next year at Del Mar. We'll go for the mile this time around. Do you agree with the choice? Oh, 1,000%. Decisions like this usually get rewarded when you do the right thing. I think it would have been a mistake to go to the Breeders' Cup Classic. I think he's suited for the mile, the layoff he had. The question is, like the Classic, how do these 3-year-olds stack up against the older horses? You know, we're going to get to see it here with Practical Move. He's improving. I think the time off, in hindsight, I know it's a horrible pill to swallow at the time, scratch out of the Kentucky Derby, but more often than not, it gives some longevity later on in the career, and I think that might be the case with Practical Move. 14 Breeders' Cup races to be drawn here in just a little bit. What race is post position most important out of those 14? I'd say that the turf sprint is pretty key here at 5 furlongs. Yeah. I mean, you're rocking and rolling, and that turn comes up quick. You got some European runners that have run left-handed. Big Evs is a horse that's never been left-handed, and we've seen some of them not be able to negotiate the turn at a high rate of speed like that. Well, because it's, you know, rotating venues with the Breeders' Cup, maybe this doesn't mean a whole lot, but oddly enough, the most successful post position in the history of the Breeders' Cup, more wins, all the races combined, post position number 5. So we'll see who draws post 5 in a lot of these races, and you could be signing up for a FanDuel Racing account. FanDuel Racing has the best in the country. Remember, when you're a member of the FanDuel Sportsbook, you can play all the action there. Whatever sport you are into, it's there at FanDuel with the One Wallet feature. When we come back to the Pasadena Civic Auditorium, it's the 2023 Breeders' Cup Classic post-position draw, brought to you by Root & Riddle.
Established in 1982, Root & Riddle Equine Hospital is a worldwide leader in equine healthcare, providing a full menu of specialties of services and treatment for all breeds and disciplines of horses, from the family companion to the high-performance athlete. Learn more today about Root & Riddle Equine Hospital. Visit rootandriddle.com or call 888-773-48 38.
Hey there, it's Craig Carden. I know I can't believe it either, but the World Series is officially here. So if you're choosing to make a wager on the series this year, please be sure to do so responsibly. Gambling should always be fun, social, and entertaining. If at any time you reach a point where it's not all three, take a break, take a breath. Go to FanDuel.com/playwell. Go there right now. Run. Go there and learn more.
Hey, so I found a betting system that's really working great for me.
So did I. What's yours?
I set up an hour-a-week time limit on FanDuel. I can also set up wager limits, so I only bet what I can afford, and betting stays fun.
Right.
So what's your system?
What's that?
Your system. What's your system? What is that?
Every bettor has a system. Make FanDuel's responsible gaming tools a key part of yours.
With NetJets, travel will always be personal. We do everything it takes to make every flight exceptional. Every single detail of your experience is personalized, just for you. As our standard is not just to meet our definition of perfection, it's to exceed yours.
Your brain is an amazing thing, but as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription.
The world is waiting, watching, ready for the biggest, boldest championship event in all of sport. And it starts now. One name.
No doubt about outrageous.
One horse. One race at a time.
It's an upset here.
Until every card is set. Every gate is filled. Every dream put on notice. As one epic goal remains to wear the crown of world champion.
It is spine-tingling, jaw-dropping, awe-inspiring, secretariat-like.
Welcome to the Rude and Riddle post-position draw for the 40th running of the Breeders' Cup World Championships.
Oh, it's desperately close.
Let the drama begin.
That gives you chills, doesn't it? A big hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rude and Riddle post-position draw for the 40th running of the Breeders' Cup World Championships. I'm Brittany Ayrton alongside Nick Luck, and two of the best days of racing. We just had moments looking back on right there, but this is what everyone builds towards.
It is, and we are honored, really, to be in such an esteemed venue to host the Rude and Riddle post-position draw for Breeders' Cup 40. Brittany, this place has got so much history, so much heritage. We saw a wonderful performance there from a man who starred on America's Got Talent. You know, this has been the home to the Emmy Awards more than 24 times.
I did not.
There is something even more famous that this stage has.
I have a feeling you're going to tell me.
So, okay, so Breeders' Cup is 40 years old. 40 years ago, in 1983, March 1983, a certain young artist called Michael Jackson debuted the moonwalk on this very stage.
How about that? Are you going to debut your moonwalk too?
Well, do you know what?
Do
you know what? I
yes.
think I might just do that. No, never mind. I think we'll leave
Who
that for
wants
another
to
day.
see Nick Luck's moonwalk?
It's-
Yes. Come on, let's give it your best shot.
That's livened you up a
okay.
bit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
But we talk about something special in being the 40th running. So 39 years of memories. For you, when you look back on the 39 years, I'm sure there's some that stand out.
The short list is just so long. I was just thinking today, it's 20 years since I first came to a Breeders' Cup at Santa Anita, and that was the year when we had the dead heat. Do you remember? High Chaparral and Johar and Falbrad was only just behind in third. That is one memory I can recall very vividly. Zenyatta winning, of course, here in 2009 in the Classic. Goldakova's third Breeders' Cup mile in 2010, and that's just in the time I've been coming to the Breeders' Cup. There are people better qualified than me to talk about some of their best magic memories in 40 years of this great event. One of them you've just seen designing some silks, but he's famous for more than that. Here he is, Mr. Mike Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Mike, I mentioned one of those great memories, Zenyatta, in 2009 here. She was just part of Breeders' Cup folklore. You have been as well. It must seem like yesterday to you in a way, that.
It does now. Now you brought it up, but yeah, that was a magical day. I always say that's the day the ground shook in California. It wasn't an earthquake. It was her fans, you know, that was so happy for her.
Santa Anita here in 2009, they'd taken her to their hearts, they'd taken you to their hearts. Just describe for a minute the moments that you passed the post, you came past the grandstand and then walked her all the way back down with your helmet aloft.
Well, that was pretty neat because I just got a chance to, you know, let the whole grandstand see her and cheer for her. And as I did myself, I literally turned into a fan about the 8th pole. Once I knew I got her out and she was on her way, you know, going to pass the last horse, Giaponti, there, I just became a fan myself. I mean, I was just in awe that she did that.
I want to take you all the way back as well to your first Breeders' Cup success. Back in 1992 at Gulfstream Park on a dual Breeders' Cup mile hero called Lure. As a young man winning a Breeders' Cup race, still the event in its infancy, what did that mean to you?
Oh, it meant everything. You know, he took my career to the next level. The Breeders' Cup does that for you.
And still here, still going, still riding strong, and a very special filly you've got to ride this year, and a daughter of Beholder in Tamara. Tell me a little bit about her and the star quality she could bring to this event.
Yeah, I mean, she's just been just way above average. You know, I mean, she's just done everything we've ever asked her to do, and she's done it with ease. And hopefully she'll do that again come Friday. She's training well, and we're really excited about her. But she has a lot of abilities, so the sky's the limit for her.
Thank you for some special moments down the years. Mike Smith, ladies and gentlemen. And
Nick, we got to get this party started, right?
We have.
So many memories. I know, you were going to steal Bill Mott.
I'm going to steal Bill Mott because 95, the Classic, he went a perfect 10 for 10 that season. The great cigar. I wanted to have a quick word with Bill because he's provided so many other great magical moments from Breeders' Cup as well. Cody's Wish, of course, last year, Royal Delta and others, and there could be more this year. But Bill, just a little flavor of 95 and how you felt going into that Classic with cigar and so much expectation on him.
Well, it was great. I mean, it was he was 10 for 10 that year, and the Breeders' Cup culminated the year, and it was a very interesting day because it had poured down all night. And, you know, the one thing we'd never done was run him in on an off track. And, of course, I laid awake all night worrying about it. And then we trained him that morning a little bit once the flood subsided. I mean, the whole barn area was flooded. And I took him to the track and galloped him around a little bit, and he seemed to love it. And I said, you know what? I'm not worried now. But then they had to run the race, but he showed up as he always did. And just a great horse. I mean, he just was one of those that just every time you led him over there, he showed up and just very consistent, the heart of a real champion.
I imagine that was elation and in no small measure relief because so much pressure was on. Contrast that with last year, just a very special story and one that touched the hearts of everyone with Cody's Wish, who's back this time.
That is a great story, and I think there's, seems to be a connection between Cody Dorman and Cody's Wish. And it started out when Cody's Wish was a weanling or yearling at the farm, and it's just such a good story that the horse and the boy have stayed connected, and it's given Cody Dorman a lot of hope, and it's given him a reason to live.
I hope he provides another special moment for you. This year, of course, you've got Warlike Goddess owned by Mr. Krikorian next. You good luck with her in the turf, and of course, Elite Power in the sprint. Bill Mott, thank you very much. Brittany, two legends of the Breeders' Cup, Mike Smith and Bill Mott, and we see there just how much these horses in this event can touch so many people's hearts.
So many memorable moments in the 39 years. Why don't we make some more? I think it's ready to get this party started. What started as a one-day 7-race event is now a 2-day 14-race event, and I think we should get this post position off and running. What do you think?
I think you're right.
Okay, let's welcome in a few words from First Racing. It is Craig Fravel, the Executive Vice Chairman of First Racing. Craig?
Thank you, Brittany. After years and years of trying to spice this thing up, I want to congratulate the guys who thought to put Drew Fleming and me on to really get it going. But I was told to make this very quick because we're now running over time already. So on behalf of First Racing, Santa Anita Park, which is hosting the Breeders' Cup for the 11th time, we want to welcome all of you to Arcadia, Pasadena, Southern California. It's truly a great pleasure to host the greatest of the racing world here for 2 days this weekend. I had the privilege and honor of working at the Breeders' Cup for 8 years. There's nothing more exciting, nothing more interesting, nothing that really brings racing to its best and shows its best. And so we're very proud to have you here. I want to congratulate the team at Santa Anita, Aiden Butler, Nate Newby, Dion Benson, all of our hardworking men and women on the front stretch and on the back stretch. And on behalf of them, welcome to California. Thank you. Oh, and I have to introduce my friend Drew Fleming, who's done an amazing job with his team putting this together for you. Drew?
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of our board, members, and nominators from across the globe, welcome to the Rood & Riddle post-position draw for the 40th running of the Breeders' Cup World Championships. To arrive at the World Championships with a contender is a feat in and of itself, representative of years of commitment, planning, hopes, and dreams. The international competition has never been stronger, and the prestige associated with the Breeders' Cup Winner's Circle has never been higher. Now, as the top thoroughbreds, breeders, owners, trainers, and jockeys from around the globe assemble in the pursuit of winning a World Championships race, we applaud your accomplishments and are honored to have you and your guests with us at beautiful Santa Anita Park. The backdrop of the purple San Gabriel Mountains and the sky-high California palm trees is truly breathtaking. I don't have to convince most of you in this room and those watching at home that horse racing is simply the best sport in the world. It brings people from all walks of life, from all around the world, together on one stage in the support of the horses who take our breath away every time they set foot on the track. It's no wonder racing has been around for centuries. The excitement evoked by our star athletes is second to none. But racing is so much more than that. It teaches you the value of hard work and determination, draws you into the centuries-old bond between horse and human, and shows you how to be a gracious winner, a graceful runner-up, and so much more. It is no doubt a difficult sport at times. It tests our patience and evokes deep emotions, from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. But at the end of the day, every decision we make revolves around the equine athletes that set this sport apart from all others. We have the privilege of being stewards, and that means putting their safety and well-being above all else while experiencing their personalities, their quirks, and their competitive spirit every day. The work begins the moment these incredible horses are born, while the breeders, owners, trainers, jockeys, veterinarians, and horsemen and women here today have made it look easy. Raising and training these horses into the tremendous athletes we'll see this weekend is the ultimate labor of love. So, to all, I say a sincere thank you. Your dream has become a reality with 175 contenders entered to compete on the world's biggest stage. We have 48 international entrants from 5 countries, 45 Challenge Series winners, and 5 returning world champions across our 14 races. The caliber of these horses is second to none, a true testament to your admirable dedication to this sport. Major racing events like the Breeders' Cup World Championships are an important reminder of what can be accomplished when we work together. This year has shown us that this spirit of collaboration between owners, trainers, jockeys, breeders, bettors, veterinarians, and fans must be sustained to ensure our sport continues to evolve for future generations, so our children and our grandchildren can learn the same lessons we've all had the benefit of learning through this sport. We're all in this together. I want to thank our dedicated board of directors whose leadership and integrity are an inspiration and a vital component of our organization's success. We have an incredible 2 days of racing ahead of us, thanks to the efforts of so many, including everyone in this room, so thank you. Last, but certainly not least, I want to thank Rood & Riddle for their long-standing commitment to the sport of thoroughbred racing and its equine athletes. It is my honor to introduce my dear friend, Dr. Woodrow Friend, to share a few remarks before we find out where everyone will be breaking from the gate. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you very much for being here tonight. On behalf of the shareholders, veterinarians, and staff of Rood & Riddle Equine Hospital, I am proud to partner with the Breeders' Cup by providing quality, cutting-edge, evidence-based medicine for your equine athletes. I had the opportunity this morning of going to the track and observing owners, breeders, jockeys, grooms, and a lot of fans that were at the track. It was beautiful this morning, absolutely beautiful. And the level of care is palpable around these horses, on your horses. It can only be summed up in that everyone on the back of that track, they treat these athletes like they're a family member. And it's evident that everybody in this industry is completely behind these horses and wants the best for them. And I applaud the industry for that, for being behind them, for treating them all like family. I want to thank you all for the opportunity to serve you and serve your athletes. And I wish you good luck and safe racing.
Dr. Friend, thank you so much. And now on with the post-position draw for the 14 Breeders' Cup races. I'd like to welcome to conduct the draw from Santa Anita, the Director of Racing and Racing Secretary Jason Egan, and James Kasparov, the Stakes Coordinator. Gentlemen, thank you. As we have a look first of all at the opening race, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint.
The sixth installment of the $1 million Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint is contested over 5 furlongs at Santa Anita. Four-wheel drive won it here in 2019, starting a 3-year run of winner's circle trips for trainer Wesley Ward and jockey Irad Ortiz Jr. The streak concluded 2 years ago when the filly Twilight Gleaming prevailed at Del Mar. Last year, the race was elevated to Grade 1 status, and Europe scored its first win with Mischief Magic for trainer Charlie Appleby. This is the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go then with the draw for the Juvenile Turf Sprint. 12 horses have drawn into the field, plus 3 also eligibles: Hedvig, Asian, and April Vintage. Jason and James, I'd like you to do the honors, please.
Number 12.
Number 12, Committee of One.
Committee of One draws post position 12 under Christian Torres. Steve Asmussen trains.
Number 8.
Number 8, Cherry Blossom.
Post position 8 for Cherry Blossom, Ryan Moore riding for Aidan O'Brien.
Number 4.
Number 4, Big Eves.
Big Evs. Big hope for Europe. Tom Marquand seeking his first Breeders' Cup success for trainer Michael Appleby.
Number 9.
Number 9, Mist Waves.
Post position 9. Post position 9 for Amidst Waves. Flavian Pratt for George Weaver.
Number 10.
Number 10, Valiant Force.
Valiant Force in the silks of Ammo Racing. William Buick, the British champion jockey, takes the ride for Adrian Murray. Post position 10.
Number 3.
Tiger Bell.
Post position 3 for Tiger Bell. Christian DeMuro takes the ride for Adrian McGuinness.
Number 6.
Starlust.
Post position 6 for Starlust. Frankie Dettori riding for Rafe Beckett. A 20-to-1 shot on the morning line.
Number 11.
Slider.
Post position 11 for Slider. Hector Berrios taking the ride.
Number 7.
Shards.
Adam Baskitza rides Shards, comes out of post position at 7, a 15-to-1 shot. Kelsey Dana trains.
Number 2.
No Name Mets.
One off the inside in post position 2, No Name Mets. Irad Ortiz has won this 3 times, including on Golden Pal.
Number 5.
Give me the beat, boys.
Give me the beat, boys, for Jessica Harrington's Irish stable. Shane Foley rides post position 5.
Number 1.
Crimson Advocate.
And that leaves the inside to the Royal Palm qualifier for Royal Ascot and Royal Ascot winner Crimson Advocate, the mount of John Velasquez. And that completes the field for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. The morning line favorite at 3-1 is Big Evs.
The $2 million NetJets Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies was first contested at Santa Anita in 1986. Brave Raj won it and became the first champion for legendary trainer Mel Studi. Hall of Famer Beholder captured this race on this track in 2012, marking the first of her 3 victories in Breeders' Cup races. And it was here at Santa Anita in 2014 that long shot Take Charge Brandy gave the coach, D. Wayne Lucas, his record 6th win in this race. This is the NetJets Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies.
Will take the stage. $2 million on the line for these 2-year-old fillies, 1 mile and a 16th the distance, and 13 have entered. Gentlemen?
Ready to go.
You got the
12.
Just FYI.
Just FYI, post position at 12 for trainer Bill Mott and Junior Alvarado, the daughter of Justify, owned by George Krikorian, 8-1 on the morning line.
Number 2.
Jody's Pride.
Post position 2 for Jody's Pride, Jorge Abreu and Flavian Pratt, 15-1.
Number 8.
Esprit Achon.
Esprit Achon for Peter Miller. Juan Hernandez to ride, 20-1, post position 8.
Number 6.
Chattelis.
Chattelis post position 6 for Mark Glatt and Antonio Frezu. What a year he is having. Won the local prep at Santa Anita. Odds of 8-1.
Number 1.
Candidate.
Inside post position 4, Candide. Todd Pletcher, Luis Saez. Winner around 2 turns in the grade 1, Darley Alcibiades. 4-1 on Candide.
Number 9.
Bright Work.
Bright Work, post position 9, John Ortiz, Ricardo Santana Jr. Rattled off 4 victories in a row to begin her career, including the grade 1 Spinaway. Bright Work, 12-1.
Number 13.
Alice Beach.
Alice Beach, the outside post of 13. Tom Amos, Tyler Gaffleone teaming up, 30-1.
Accommodate Eva.
Post position 10 for Accommodate Eva, trainer Dallas Stewart, John Velasquez to ride, 30-1.
Number 4.
Where's My Ring?
Where's My Ring? Are we happy about that, Val? Where's My Ring? 30-1, post position 4, Victor Espinoza to ride.
Number 7.
Tamara.
Tamara, post position 7. I couldn't read the room whether or not the connections liked that for Tamara. She will be the shortest morning line odds of the 2 days. Beholder's daughter is looking to emulate what she did 11 years ago. 4-5 on Tamara.
Number 3.
Scalable.
Scalable, post position 3 for Todd Pletcher, Jose Ortiz to ride, 20-1 on the morning line.
Number 5.
Omaha Girl.
Post position 5 for Omaha Girl for trainer Jorge Delgado. Umberto Rispolid will be aboard, 30-1.
Number 11.
Life Talk.
And post position 11 for Life Talk, Todd Pletcher, Irad Ortiz. One of the rare races that Hall of Famer Todd Pletcher has not won, 20-1. So that is your field for the NetJet Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Your morning line favorite and probable fan favorite, Tamara, 4-5 on the morning line.
Meditate won decisively in last year's renewal of the $1 million Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf with a breathtaking stretch rally. It ended an 8-year run of wins by American-based runners.
With a
Lady Eli was equally impressive here at Santa Anita in 2014 as she gave trainer Chad Brown one of his record-setting 5 victories in this race. Brown got his first one here too when Maram rallied to take the initial running back in 2008. This is the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf.
Then $1 million again for the Juvenile Fillies Turf, full field of 14. 2 also eligibles, Go With Gusto and Mo Fox Given. Gentlemen, the Juvenile Fillies Turf, please.
Number 10.
Austere.
Post position 10 for Austere, Tyler Gaffleone taking the ride for Brendan Walsh.
Number 11.
She Feels Pretty.
She Feels Pretty. John Velasquez seeks a first victory in the race for Cherie DeVoe, seeking her first Breeders' Cup success. 4-1 on the morning line.
Number 6.
Porta Fortuna.
Post position 6 for Porta Fortuna. Her trainer, Donica O'Brien, bids to become the 3rd member of his own family to win a Breeders' Cup race. Oisin Murphy taking the ride.
Number 8.
Life's an Audible.
Life's an Audible. Draws post position 8. Irad Ortiz has won the race twice before. Rides this for Todd Pletcher.
Number 14.
Les Pavés.
Outside post for the French challenger Les Pavos for Michael Barcelona. France won this with Flotilla back in 2012.
Number 4.
Lone.
Post position 4 for Lone, French bred Manny Franco, a 2000th winner last week, won this on sharing in 2019.
Number 12.
Hard to Justify.
Post position 12 for Hard to Justify. Flavien Prat takes the ride for Chad Brown, seeking a 6th success in this race.
Number 7.
Galabrand.
Galabrand comes from post position 7. Jose Ortiz won this on Pizza Bianca 2 years ago.
Number 2.
Flattery.
1 from the inside and 2 is Flattery. Juan Hernandez seeking a first Breeders' Cup success for Peter Urton.
Number 13.
Dreamfire.
1 from the outside is Dreamfire. Hector Berrios rides.
Number 5.
Content.
Post position 5. Content. Ryan Moore took this last year on Meditate. Content is trained by Aidan O'Brien.
Number 9.
Carla's Way.
Post position 9 for Carla's Way. James Doyle, a new job announced today. He rides this for Simon Crisford. 6-1 on the morning line.
Number 1.
Buttercream Babe.
Inside post for Buttercream Babe and Luis Saez. 30-1.
Number 3.
Buku.
And that leaves Buku in post position 3. 6-1 Martin Garcia for Phil Bauer. An open edition of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. And She Feels Pretty for John Velasquez and Cherie DeVoe, the 4-1 morning line favorite.
Last year's running of the FanDuel Breeders' Cup Juvenile, presented by the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance, saw Forte stamp himself as a champion. This marks the 40th running of the Breeders' Cup. The very first race was the Juvenile, won by Chief's Crown, leaving the next spring's Preakness and Derby winners in his wake. And a Santa Anita crowd saw Brocco win the 1993 Juvenile for owner Albert Cubby Broccoli, the producer who famously launched the James Bond film franchise. This is the FanDuel Breeders' Cup Juvenile, presented by the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance.
All right, this could give us an early look at next year's Kentucky Derby favorite. $2 million for 2-year-olds, a mile and a 16th, and 11 have entered.
Number 4.
Timberlake.
Timberlake, all you Instinct fans, post position 4 for trainer Brad Cox for Laurent Giroux, your winner of the Grade 1 Champagne, 4-1.
Number 1.
The Wine Steward.
The Wine Steward inside draw for the Mike Maker trainee, 8-1 on the morning line. Luis Saez to ride.
Number 2.
Prince of Monaco.
Prince of Monaco, the undefeated runner for trainer Bob Baffert. Flavien Prat to ride Prince of Monaco is 4-1.
Number 11.
Noted.
Noted gets the outside post position, opts for the dirt over the turf race, 20-1 for Todd Pletcher and Irad Ortiz.
Number 10.
Muth.
Muth 10-1, another for Bob Baffert. Juan Hernandez will ride the $2 million purchase when the American Pharaoh last out, odds of 4-1.
Number 6.
Locked.
Locked, post position 6. This is your morning line favorite for Pletcher and Jose Ortiz. Locked is 7-2, your morning line favorite for the Juvenile.
Number 8.
General partner.
General partner, post position 8, Chad Brown at Manny Franco will team up here with second most recently in the Champagne behind Timberlake, 8-1.
Number 9.
Fierceness.
Fierceness, post position 9, looking to bounce back after a head-scratching effort last time out. Another for Pletcher. This one, John Velasquez will ride, 6-1 on Fierceness.
Number 5.
Ikoro Neo.
Post position 5, Ikoro Neo, part of the Japanese contingent. Hideyuki Mori sending out this runner, 30-1.
Number 7.
Cuban Thunder.
Cuban Thunder draws post position 7 for Adrian Murray. Tiago Pereira will ride, trying dirt for the first time, a price of 30-1.
Number 3.
Wine Me Up.
Wine Me Up, post position 3, 15-1. The third entrant for trainer Bob Baffert. Ramon Vasquez will ride. So that is your field for the FanDuel Breeders' Cup Juvenile presented by the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance. Your morning line favorite, Locked, 7-2.
European-based runners captured all 3 Friday grass races last fall, culminating in the $1 million Prevagen Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf with Victoria Road's narrow victory. That gave trainer Aidan O'Brien and jockey Ryan Moore 5 wins each in the Juvenile Turf. That record includes a triumph at Santa Anita in 2012 with George Vancouver. And it was on this track that legendary trainer John Gosden notched the first of 2 straight wins in this race with Donativum. This is the Prevagen Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf.
And it's worth $1 million for Colson Gelding's 2-year-olds a mile on the turf track here at Santa Anita. 14 have drawn into this. No also eligibles. It's 10-6 the score, Europe versus the United States in the 16 editions so far. Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien, as you heard, with 5 apiece. And Ryan Moore has chosen to ride River Tiber in a tough call over Unquestionable. Gentlemen, the Prevagen Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf.
Number 8.
Unquestionable.
Unquestionable it is. The man of Frankie Dettori has won this race 3 times. Gate 8 for Unquestionable. 4-1 on the morning line.
Number 3.
Talk Talk.
Talk Talk for Graham Motion. John Velasquez takes the ride.
Number 6.
Stay Hot.
Stay Hot is in gate 6. Get Hot, Stay Hot. Antonio Fraser for Peter Urton. 20-1.
Number 2.
River Tiber.
River Tiber is in stall 2. Ryan Moore looking for a 6th victory in the race for Aidan O'Brien. 3-1.
Number 5.
My Boy Prince.
Gate 5 for My Boy Prince. Mark Cassey trains. Joel Rosario rides.
Number 12.
Mountain Bear.
Stall 12 for Mountain Bear. 2nd string for Aidan O'Brien. 3rd string for Aidan O'Brien. Dylan Brown McMonigal taking the ride.
Number 11.
Lim's Journey.
11 is Liam's Journey. Mike Maker won this with Fire at Will in 2020. Manny Franco takes the ride.
Number 13.
Grand Mo the First.
Gate 13, one from the outside. Grand Mo the First and Hector Berrios.
Number 10.
Fulminio.
Fulminio draws gate 10 with Tyler Gaffleone. Arnaud Delacour has 2 in the race.
Number 9.
Endlessly.
Endlessly. Juan Hernandez looking for his first Breeders' Cup success. Rides this one endlessly. A son of Oscar Performance, who won this race in 2016 for the Ammermans.
Number 14.
Carson's Run.
Carson's Run draws the outside post under Dylan Davis.
Number 4.
Can Group.
Gate 4 for Can Group, Mark Cassidy and Flavian Pratt teaming up, 12-1.
Number 1.
Air Recruit.
The inside for Air Recruit and Luis Saez, second runner for Arnaud Delacour.
Number 7.
A Gate Road.
And that leaves Todd Pletcher's A Gate Road, an 8-1 shot on the morning line. Install 7 with Irad Ortiz Jr. taking the ride. So the favorite on the morning line for the Prevagen Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf is the mount of Ryan Moore, the chosen mount of Ryan Moore, River Tiber, with Frankie Dettori's mount, the stable companion, unquestionable in Gate 8 at 4-1, an endlessly Son of Oscar performance in Gate 9. We're going to take a short commercial break. We will be right back after these messages to draw the Saturday of Breeders' Cup 2023.
With FanDuel, every night is a watch party. New customers bet $5 to get $150 bonus if your team wins. Bet all the stars with all your friends and tell them that they get 3 months of NBA League Pass on us with any $5 bet. Only on FanDuel. New customers bet $5, get $150 bonus if your team wins, plus NBA League Pass on us.
FanDuel Casino has your chance at the #1 feeling, winning, which ranks even higher than the 18th best feeling, saving a kid from a well. 59 years later. Find the #1 feeling winning on FanDuel Casino Reward Machine. Free to play every day with a chance at a $2,000 top prize.
I'm Greg, I'm 68 years old. I do motivational speaking in addition to the substitute teaching. I honestly feel that that's my calling, to give back to younger people. I think most adults will start realizing that they don't recall things as quickly as they used to, or they don't remember things as vividly as they once did. I've been taking Prevagen for about 3 years now. People say to me periodically, man, you got a memory like an elephant. It's really, really helped me tremendously.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription.
This is a Kentucky Thoroughbred. This is a Kentucky-built Powerfoil industrial fan. Like a Thoroughbred, it too delivers unrivaled performance. And while they both run with purpose and pride, this one also runs to keep your workforce feeling cool and comfortable. Powerfoil, our best-selling big fan hands down. BigFans.com. Comfort without compromise.
All right, hello everyone. A big welcome back to those of you watching on FanDuel TV as well. It is time to start drawing the 9 championship races for Breeders' Cup Saturday. And what we'll do is we'll draw those 9 remaining races in the order in which they will be run, and then talk with some classic contenders a little bit after. So we will start with the first championship race on Saturday, the Big Ass Fans Dirt Mile.
The $1 million Big Ass Fans Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile gave last year's event the most tugs on the heartstrings of fans when Cody's Wish, named for young Cody Dorman, got his nose down at the wire. There wasn't a dry eye in the house at Keeneland. Golden Sense is the only horse to win this race in successive years, both times at Santa Anita in 2013 and this one in 2014. Jockey Rafael Bejarano had to fight for the lead that day, but then Golden Sense never relinquished it. And Nick's Go took the Dirt Mile in 2020, foreshadowing a win in the Classic the following fall. This is the Big Ass Fans Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile.
$1 million on the line for 3-year-olds and upward. Obviously, 1 mile the distance over the main track. 9 have entered the Big Ass Fans Dirt Mile. And yes, I was told I could say that. Gentlemen?
Number 7.
Algiers.
Algiers, post position 7 for trainer Simon Crisford. Jockey James Doyle to ride. Multi-surface runner is 6-1 on the morning line.
Number 5.
Charge It.
Post position 5 for Charge It. Trainer Todd Pletcher opting for the dirt mile over the classic for this runner, 5-1.
Number 9.
National Treasure.
Post position 9 for the Preakness winner, National Treasure. Flavian Pratt will ride for Bob Baffert, 8-1.
Number 6.
Skippy Longstocking.
Skippy Longstocking, post position 6 for Safi Joseph. Tyler Gaffleone has the mount, 12-1.
Number 3.
Cody's Wish.
The defending champion and one of the best stories in racing, Cody's Wish, draws post position 3, 9-5. Bill Mott saying he's smooth as glass on the bridle.
Number 8.
Sherrills B.
Post position 8 for Sherrills B, 20-1. Dallas Stewart, Luis Saez teaming up here and owned by Chuck Fickey.
Number 1.
Stage Raider.
Stage Raider draws the inside, post position 1. Trainer Cherie DeVos sending out the half-brother to Triple Crown champion Justify, 15-1.
Number 4.
Zozos.
Post position 4 for Zozos, Florent Giroux, Brad Cox. We know how often they team up for wins. They team up here with Zozos, 6-1.
Number 2.
Practical Move.
And post position 2 for Practical Move. After scratching from the Kentucky Derby, came back in a big way in allowance event last time out. Tim Yakteen, Ramon Vasquez, 3-1 on Practical Move. So that is your field for the Big Ass Fans Dirt Mile. Cody's Wish. Again, there will not be a dry eye in the house if that one were to defend his title. Post position 3, 9-5.
When Queen's Trust won here in 2016, it started a run of success for 3-year-olds in the $2 million Maker's Mark Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. Wahida then made it 2 in a row, and it's now 5 wins in the last 7 years for 3-year-olds. The legendary Ouija board in 2004 was one of only 3 sophomore fillies to win this race in its first 17 editions. Stephanie's Kitten at age 6 in 2015 is the oldest winner, one of a record 4 saddled by trainer Chad Brown. This is the $2 million Maker's Mark Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf.
All right, then, $2 million down the Hillside Turf, mile and a quarter, inaugurated in 1999. A field of 12, no also eligibles here. Jason, James, let's have them.
Number 2.
Warm Heart.
Gate 2 for Warm Heart, dual Group 1 winner. Ryan Moore taking the ride for Aidan O'Brien as he did last year on the winner Tuesday, 3-1.
Number 7.
Lindy.
7 is Lindy. Second in the QE2 at Keeneland, Tyler Gaffleone riding for Brendan Walsh.
Number 6.
Inspiral.
Stall 6 for the hugely talented European invader Inspiral. Frankie Dettori won this race on Ouija board and on Queen's Trust in the Silks.
Number 8.
Fev Rover.
Post position 8 for the EP Taylor winner Fev Rover. Javier Castellano won this race on Day at the Spa and on Zagora.
Number 3.
With the Moonlight.
Post position 3 for With the Moonlight, William Buick in the Royal Blue of Godolphin, and Charlie Appleby won this on Wahida at Del Mar. This one a 20-1 shot.
Number 9.
Didier.
Post position 9 for the Argentinian-bred Didier Vincent Cheminot, taking the ride for Ignacio Correas.
Number 12.
State Occasion.
Outside post for State Occasion, Ross Orion taking the ride for Rafe Beckett, who tasted success here at Santa Anita in 2008 with Muhanak.
Number 4.
Maria.
Post position 4 for Moira, the Canadian Flavian Prat taking the ride on Moira for Kevin Attard.
Number 11.
Lumiere Rock.
Post position 11 for Lumiere Rock, running for trainer Joseph O'Brien, who won this race at Santa Anita in 2019 with Iridessa. Dylan Brown McMonigal takes the ride.
Number 1.
In Italian.
Inside post for the very likable, tough, consistent filly In Italian, who was second last year and looks to give Chad Brown a 5th success in this race. Joel Rosario aboard.
Number 5.
Win Maryland.
Win Maryland, Christian DeMuro taking the ride for Japan. Takahisa Tezuka is the trainer of Win Maryland, 20-1.
And number 10.
McCulloch.
The other Chad Brown is McCulloch from Gate 10. Irad Ortiz Jr. taking the ride on McCulloch. So that completes the field for the Maker's Mark, Breeders' Cup, Filly and Mare Turf. A fantastic clash between Europe and the United States. In Spiral is the 5-2 morning line favorite for Frankie Dettori and John Gosden.
The $1 million PNC Bank Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint has featured only one repeat winner. That was Groupie Doll. And the first of her back-to-back scores came at Santa Anita in 2012 for trainer Buff Bradley. In 2008, the crowd at this famed oval saw Hall of Fame trainer Bobby Frankel get his final Breeders' Cup winner as Ventura took down the Filly and Mare Sprint. Last fall, it was Goodnight Olive storming home first under jockey Irad Ortiz Jr. It was his third Filly and Mare Sprint win, and the result made Chad Brown the only other trainer to win this race twice. This is the PNC Bank Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint.
Well, you saw it in there. We do have the defending champion back, one of 4 actually over the 2 days. The PNC Bank Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, 7 furlongs the distance, $1 million on the line, and 9 have entered. Gentlemen?
Number 5.
Kirsten Bosch.
Post position 5, Kirsten Bosch for trainer John Sadler, Hector Barrios to ride, a minor upset winner of the Chillingworth Last Out, 10-1.
Number 9.
Uguri.
Post position 9 for Uguri, Rudy Brisset, Ricardo Santana. This horse was actually supplemented to the race after winning the TCA Last Out, 8-1 on the morning line.
Number 6.
Mikael.
Mikael, post position 6, also part of the Japanese contingent, 15-1.
Number 7.
Society.
Post position 7 for Society. Steve Asmussen, Tyler Gaffleon will team up here. Took part in the Breeders' Cup Distaff last year, shortened up to Sprint this time around.
Number 1.
Goodnight Olive.
The defending champion and morning line favorite, Goodnight Olive, draws the inside post, post 1. Chad Brown, Irad Ortiz Jr., as you heard, looks to become just the second 2-time winner of this race, 6-5.
Number 4.
Matayera.
Matarea, post position 4 for trainer Brad Cox and Flavian Pratt. She is 6-1.
Number 3.
Ida.
Post position 3 for Ida, Bob Baffert, Juan Hernandez will team up here, 10-1 on the morning line for Ida.
Number 2.
Clearly Unhinged.
Post position 2 for the Michael McCarthy trainee. He has Umberto Rispalia, Clearly Unhinged, 12-1.
And number 8.
3 Witches.
And 3 Witches is post position 8. Safi Joseph sending out this runner, Luis Saez, to ride, 30-1. So that is your field for the PNC Bank Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. 9 entered, including Goodnight Olive, your defending champion, your morning line favorite, inside draw at 6-5.
The $2 million FanDuel Breeders' Cup Mile is contested for a 40th time. And in the first running in 1984, the filly Royal Heroine set a North American speed record for a mile on the turf. Last Tycoon became the first 3-year-old to win this race back in 1986 in the first Breeders' Cup at Santa Anita, and he did it at 35-1 odds. And in 1993 at Santa Anita, NBC handicapper Mike Battaglia said Lure could win from the parking lot, and he was right, as Lure prevailed from post 12. This is the FanDuel Breeders' Cup Mile.
Another big field turf race. Good job of getting paid by the runner here, Brittany. It's the Breeders' Cup Mile, supported by FanDuel and presented by the PDJF. $2 million on the turf mile, a full field of 14. No also eligibles. Jason, James.
Number 6.
Maj.
Mauge, a half-sister to last year's winner, Modern Games. Saeed bin Sarur trains. Asheen Murphy takes the ride, 4-1 on the morning line.
Number 7.
Master of Foxhounds.
Gate 7, one outside Mauge. Master of Foxhounds, Edwin Maldonado for Phil D'Amato.
Number 4.
Win Carnelian.
One of 2 Japanese horses in the race. Win Carnelian will be ridden by Kosei Miura for Yuichi Shikato.
Number 5.
Lucky Score.
5. Lucky Score, Irad Ortiz Jr. for Mark Cassie.
Number 11.
Kalina.
Post position 11 for Kalina, who races in the Wertheimer Silks of the 3-time Breeders' Cup Mile heroine Golda Kova. Maxime Guillon takes the ride on Kalina, the Prix de la Forêt winner.
Number 8.
Du Jour.
Du Jour from post position 8. Flavien Prat seeks to give Bob Baffert his first win on turf in a Breeders' Cup race. He came very close, went second in this race in 1999.
Number 12.
Exalted.
Exalted draws post position 12 here. Juan Hernandez for Peter Urton, the Shoemaker Mile winner.
Number 2.
Gina Romantica.
Chad Brown opts for this race for Gina Romantica. He's won it with Uni. And post position 2 for Gina Romantica.
Number 14.
Master of the Seas.
Master of the Seas draws the outside post here for last year's winning connections, William Buick and Charlie Appleby. Master of the Seas, 7-2 on the morning line, draws the outside in the Breeders' Cup Mile.
Number 10.
Songline.
Japanese Songline from post 10 for Keita Tosaki, winner of the Yasuda Kinnan, 5-2.
Number 13.
More Than Looks.
More Than Looks draws 1 from the outside. Joel Rosario has won this with Uni and with Tourist. More Than Looks 15-1 for Cherie DeVoe.
Number 1.
Sherrill Spite.
The inside for last year's runner-up, Sherrill's Spite. John Velasquez looking for a 4th victory in this race. World approval, the great wise Dan, and the just as great Da Hoss. Sherrill Spite, his ride this time for Roger Atfield.
Number 9.
Astronomer.
Ryan Moore taking a ride here for Simon Callahan on Astronomer, draws post position 9.
And number 3.
Casa Creed.
And all that leaves Casa Creed rocking up at his 4th Breeders' Cup to draw post position 3. Luis Saez riding for Bilmot. Casa Creed in 3, 8-1 on the morning line. There you have it then, Songline, the Japanese, one of 2 in the race, 5-2 for Keita Tosaki and Toru Hayashi, and the outside post for the runner-up at Keeneland, Master of the Seas, the Woodbine Mile winner William Buick and Charlie Appleby, last year's winning team. And that completes the draw for the FanDuel Breeders' Cup Mile.
The $2 million Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff provided the most scintillating stretch run last year when Malathat got her nose down first in a 3-horse photo. But the stretch duel of all stretch duels occurred in the 2016 Distaff at Santa Anita when Beholder won the head bob over Songbird. This year marks the 40th running of the Distaff and a supremely dominant performance by Princess Rooney in 1984. And 2 years later, here at Santa Anita, Lady Secret, a daughter of the legendary Secretariat, wrapped up Horse of the Year honors when she won this race. This is the Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff.
Well, Some of the greats have won the Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff over the years, many of which you just saw. Let's find out who may add their name to that list. $2 million, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, 1 mile and 1/8 the distance, and 11 have entered.
Number 7.
Wet Paint.
Post position 7 for Wet Paint, one of 3 horses within the field for trainer Brad Cox. Flavian Pratt to ride, 10-1 on the morning line.
Number 4.
Idiomatic.
Post position 4 for your morning line favorite, Idiomatic, another for trainer Brad Cox, Florent Giroux to ride on a 4-race win streak. It's a homebred for Juddmont Farms, 5-2.
Number 6.
Search Results.
Search Results, post position 6 for Chad Brown and Irad Ortiz Jr., 5-1.
Number 5.
Adair Manor.
Adair Manor, post position 5. You talk about win streak. She is on a 5-race win streak, and Bob Baffert is looking for a first win in the Distaff. 4-1 on Adair Manor.
Number 2.
Amore.
Amore, post position 2 for Brad Cox, the third of his trio, Christophe Lemaire to ride, 20-1.
Number 9.
Clairiere.
Post position 9 for Clairiere, Steve Asmussen, Joel Rosario. The connections kept her in training at age 5 to get that elusive Breeders' Cup win. She is 4-1.
Number 1.
Hoosier Filly.
Inside draw for the Tom Amis trainee, Hoosier Filly, Luis Saez to ride. Always a horse held in high regard, looking to bounce back on Saturday, 20-1.
Number 10.
Desert Dawn.
Desert Dawn, post position 10 for the Arizona bred, will look to pull the upset, like potentially the Arizona Diamondbacks, 20-1 on Desert Dawn.
Number 11.
La Davida.
La Davida for post position 11, 20-1. Vincent Cheminot's ride for Ignacio Correas, who did win this race last time it was held at Santa Anita in 2019.
Number 8.
Randomized.
Randomized, one of 2 for trainer Chad Brown. 6-1 on randomized. Jose Ortiz will ride.
Number 3.
Pretty Mischievous.
And post position 3 for Pretty Mischievous, Brendan Walsh, Tyler Gaffleone, your Kentucky Oaks winner from this year, 8-1 on Pretty Mischievous. So that is your field of top-class ladies taking the stage in the Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff. Your morning line favorite, Idiomatic for trainer Brad Cox, post position 4 and 5-2.
The $4 million Longines Breeders' Cup Turf produced the biggest upset on the inaugural Breeders' Cup card in 1984, as Lashkari pulled off a shocking win. Here at Santa Anita 2 years later, 3-year-old Manila upset European Horse of the Year Dancing Brave. And it was here in 2016 that Highland Reel went wire to wire to give trainer Aidan O'Brien a record 6th victory in this race. This is the $4 million Longines Breeders' Cup Turf.
Here we go then, the most prestigious race on the grass. Aidan O'Brien with 6 wins, hasn't won it since 2016, but he has 3 goes at it here, including with the Derby winner Auguste Rodin. Gentlemen, let's draw the turf.
13.
Warlike Goddess.
The outside is drawn by Warlike Goddess, who bids to become the 6th female to win this race. Junior Alvarado for Bill Mott. Tanawa Enable, Found, Misalleged, and Pebbles, the other fillies and mares to have won the Longines Breeders' Cup Turf.
Number 2.
Onesta.
Post position 2 for the Arc de Triomphe third. Onesto, Maxime Guillon takes the ride for Fabrice Chappé.
Number 5.
Auguste Rodin.
Auguste Rodin draws post position 5 under Ryan Moore, who's won this race 3 times, including twice here on Conduit.
Number 7.
Broom.
Broom, the stable companion, runner-up at this race at Del Mar 2 years ago. Post position 7 for Broom. Dylan Brown McMonigal takes the ride, 30-1.
Number 4.
Bolshoi Ballet.
And the third of the Ballydoyle runners for Aidan O'Brien is Bolshoi Ballet. John Velasquez won this race here at Santa Anita on main sequence.
Number 12.
Balladeer.
Balladeer draws post position 12 for Victor Espinoza and George Papapadromou.
Number 10.
Adamo.
Post position 10 for Adamo, Flavien Prat is riding Adamo for Chad Brown.
Number 9.
Mostadaf.
9 for Mostadaf in the Shadwell Silks. Jim Crowley hasn't ridden at a Breeders' Cup since 2009, rides this strongly fancied horse 5-2 on the morning line for John Gosden.
Number 6.
Get Smokin'.
Get Smoking draws post position 6, Fernando de la Cruz for Mark Cassie.
Number 3.
Gold Phoenix.
Post position 3 for Gold Phoenix, Juan Hernandez taking the ride for Phil D'Amato.
Number 11.
King of Steel.
King of Steel, Frankie Dettori's won this race 5 times, beginning in 1999 with Daylami. Rides King of Steel, the Champion Stakes winner in Great Britain, 4-1.
Number 1.
Shahryar.
The Japanese raider Shahryar draws the inside. Christian Demuro, the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe winning jockey, takes the ride on Shahryar for Hideaki Fujiwara. Morning line odds of 15-1.
Number 8.
Up to the Mark.
And that leaves Up to the Mark in post position 8. The big hope for Irad Ortiz, who won this race on bricks and mortar, takes this mount for Todd Pletcher, stepping up in distance to the 1.5 miles. One of the deepest editions of the Longines Breeders' Cup Turf in recent memory, with a total purse of $4 million. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a stellar field, and our morning line odds maker makes Mostadaf in post position 9 under Jim Crowley the 5-2 favorites.
For many fans, the most memorable running of the $6 million Longines Breeders' Cup Classic came in 2009 at Santa Anita, as Zenyatta unleashed a stretch run that was truly unbelievable. And Santa Anita was the setting for the biggest upset in this race, with Arkong in 1993. Last year, Flightline set a record for margin of victory in the Classic with a dominating 8 1/4 length Tour de Force. And we celebrate the 40th running of the race that put the Breeders' Cup firmly on the world sports map. It was long shot wild again under Pat Day, holding on for dear life in a 3-horse photo finish.
I believe it was wild again.
This is the 1 1/4 $6 million Longines Breeders' Cup Classic.
The Breeders' Cup started as an idea and a dream, and 40 years later, dreams come true. It is such an honor and privilege to be in these races, is it not? So cheers to every contender for getting to this point, because we know how special these 2 days of racing are. It's what everybody in this industry builds up to, that we get to witness these magnificent equine athletes doing what they love. So we have come to the point, the crown jewel of the 2 days. It is the $6 million Longines Breeders' Cup Classic, and what a competitive field we do have. 1 1/4 miles, the classic distance, and 13 have entered.
Number 4.
Missed the cut.
Post position 4 for Missed the Cut. Did not miss the cut, was initially on the outside looking in until some defections earlier. John Sadler trained, obviously winner of Flightline last year. Luis Saez to ride 30-1 on Missed the Cut.
Number 12.
Arabian Night.
Post position 12 for Arabian Night, your morning line favorite, 3-1, trainer Bob Baffert. Flavien Prat teaming up here with the $2.3 million runner. He's slowly turning into a man right now, is what Baffert says.
Number 6.
Saudi Crown.
Post position 6 for Saudi Crown. Finally got a much-deserved graded stakes win in the Grade 1 Pennsylvania Derby last time out. Brad Cox won this race in 2021 with Nick Sko. 12-1 on Saudi Crown.
Number 9.
Senior Buscador.
Post position 9 for Senior Buscador for trainer Todd Fincher. Giovanni Franco to ride. Don't look for him early. He should get pace to run at and will be gobbling up ground late. 30-1.
Number 1.
Archangelo, excuse me.
Post position 1 for Arcangelo, Jenna Antonucci, the history maker, and what a year Javier Castellano is having. The gray son of Arrowgate will look to repeat what his late father did right at Santa Anita 7 years ago. 7-2.
Number 3.
White Abario.
Post position 3 for White Abario. Trainer Rick Dutrow returns to the Breeders' Cup after 10 years, having won the Classic back in 2005 with St. Liam Irad Ortiz Jr. to ride. 4-1 on White Abario.
Number 7.
Clapton.
Post position 7 for Clapton. Chad Summers, Tyler Gaffleone will team up here. Chad Summers saying, we're here because it's a wide open year. You have to be in it to win it. That is correct. 20-1.
Number 11.
Bright Future.
Bright Future, post position 11, very appropriately named. The lightly raced 4-year-old is finding his best form as of late. Owners had to be patient with this runner, and they're surely being rewarded. Pletcher, Velasquez, 10-1 on Bright Future.
Number 8.
Yusa Tesoro.
Post position 8 for Ushba Tesoro, quite the buzz horse since arriving here in Southern California on a 6-race win streak, which includes the $12 million Dubai World Cup. Ushba Tesoro, 4-1.
Number 5.
Derma Sotogake.
Post position 5 for Derma Sotogake, last seen finishing 6th in the Kentucky Derby, made the way back to the States once again. 20-1 on Derma Sotogake.
Number 2.
Zandon.
Post position 2 for Zandon, Chad Brown employs Frankie Dettori to ride. Frankie won the Classic in 2008 with Ravens Pass, and sounds like he's calling Southern California home for the foreseeable future. 12-1.
Number 10.
Dreamlike.
Post position 10 for Dreamlike, Todd Pletcher opting for the Classic over the Dirt Mile for this runner. Jose Ortiz to ride. 30-1.
Number 13.
Proxy.
And it's the outside post position for Proxy. Trainer Michael Stidham. Joel Rosario has the mount. Earned over $2.2 million in his career. Final start, they're hoping it's a winning one. 12-1 on the morning line. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the field for the $6 million Longines Breeders' Cup Classic. Your morning line favorite draws post position 12. That is Arabian Night. And to the inside, Arcangelo, your second choice, post position 1. Now, traditionally, the Breeders' Cup Classic is the last race, but we have 2 more races to draw, and then we'll dip into the audience and talk with a few people. So stick around.
The $1 million Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint produced the biggest upset on last year's Breeders' Cup card. 42-1 long shot Caravel took the fight to the boys from the start and never looked back. The first ever turf sprint on the Breeders' Cup card was contested at Santa Anita in 2008, and it produced a 36-1 shocker in Desert Code. In 2012, Misdirection carried jockey Mike Smith to the first of back-to-back wins in this race for trainer Mike Pipey. 6 years later, Stormy Liberal and trainer Peter Miller matched that feat. This is the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint.
Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint, fast and furious, and we've got some connections in the room. 12, including 4 also eligibles, one-timer, Beer Can Man, Laneway, and Twilight Gleaming. Let's draw the $1 million Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. 5 furlongs for the first time at Santa Anita.
Number 3.
Caravel.
Defending champion, Caravel, draws right out of the blocks. Post position 3, Tyler Gaffleone for Brad Cox.
Number 8.
Aesop's Fables.
Post position 8 for Aesop's Fables, livened up by blinkers last time to finish 3rd in the Prix de l'Abbé Group 1. Ryan Moore for Aidan O'Brien, 12-1 on the morning line.
Number 12.
Arzak.
The outside post for Arzak. Luis Saez for Michael Trombetta, morning line odds of 6-1.
Number 11.
Jasper Crony.
Post position 11 for the Japanese contender, Jasper Crone. Yuga Kawada taking the ride for Hideyuki Mori. 12-1.
Number 6.
Gear Jockey.
Post position 6 for Gear Jockey, Jose Lescano for Rusty Arnold.
Number 5.
Live in the Dream.
They're in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Steve and Jolene DeLemos, owners of Live in the Dream, for Adam West and Sean Curran, the Group 1 Nunthorpe winner. I think they're pleased with post position 5.
Number 10.
Motorius.
Motorius. Post position 10, improved beyond recognition since joining this stable. Now, we've got an error here on the caption. That was Motorius, correct, James and Jason?
Yes.
Motorius in gate 10 there. We can just take that off, thanks very much. Motorius in gate 10. Flavien Prat for Phil D'Amato. 5-1 on the morning line.
Number 7.
No balls.
Post position 7 for the gelding. Nobles. Gerardo Corrales and Larry Ravelli. 6-1.
Number 1.
Big Invasion.
Post position 1 for Big Invasion. Christophe Clement, Joel Rosario won this race on Stormy Liberal and Bobby's Kitten. Morning line odds are 15-1.
Number 4.
Tony Ann.
Tony Ann comes from post position 4. Hector Berrios, another one for Phil D'Amato. 15-1 on the morning line.
Number 2.
Brad Sell.
Brad Sell, the Royal Ascot winner of the King's Stand Stakes. Archie Watson trains. Now Luke Morris rides in the absence of Holly Doyle. 5-1, Brad Sell.
Number 9.
Roses for Deborah.
Irad Ortiz Jr. won this race in 2021 on the brilliant Golden Pal. Rides Roses for Deborah. Draws post position 9 for Christophe Clement. Are we happy, gentlemen, that that is the draw complete for the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint? We are. It is after the Classic. It got the biggest laugh in the room and the biggest cheer in the room. 9-2, Live in the Dream. Sean Curran and Adam West is your morning line favorite for the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. Good luck.
The $1 million Qatar Racing Breeders' Cup Sprint has produced some stirring stretch battles, like the 1993 renewal, won by 7-year-old Cardmania at Santa Anita. This 40th running of a test of raw speed will be hard-pressed to top what Midnight Loot did here in 2008. He blazed 6 furlongs in 107.08 to win the sprint in consecutive years, and that record time still stands. His trainer, Bob Baffert, has won the sprint a record 5 times, the first coming in 1992 with 30 sloughs. This is the Qatar Racing Breeders' Cup Sprint.
We've made it. The 14th championship race, the final race on Saturday, is the Qatar Racing Breeders' Cup Sprint. And if there are any connections in the audience, I know it's our last race, but feel free to cheer or be disappointed by your post. We love to hear it. $2 million, 3-year-olds and upward, 6 furlongs the distance, and 9 have entered, including defending champion Elite Power.
Number 9.
Gunite.
Post position 9 for Gunite. Trainer Steve Asmussen. Tyler Gaffleone has the mount. Asmussen won this race in 2019 with Matoli. 4-1 on Gunite.
Number 4.
Hoist the Gold.
Thank you. I think they're happy with post position 4 for Hoist the Gold. Dallas Stewart, John Velasquez team up here 12-1. They took a gamble paying him $50,000 to nominate this horse, and they were rewarded having won the Win and You're in Phoenix last out.
Number 3.
American Theorem.
Post position 3 for American Theorem. George Papapadromo teaming up with Umberto Rispoli here, 30-1.
Number 7.
Speedboat Beach.
Appropriately named Speedboat Beach. Post position 7 for trainer Bob Baffert and Mike Smith. Bob Baffert and the owners, the same team that brought you 2-time Breeders' Cup Sprint winner, Midnight Loot, 3-1.
Number 6.
The Chosen Vron.
The Chosen Vron, definitely a fan favorite here in California as a Calbred. He is on a remarkable 8-race win streak. Trainer Eric Krulchak and Hector Barrios to ride. The Chosen Vron, 5-1.
Number 2.
Dr. Chevelle.
Dr. Schivel, post position 2 for trainer Mark Glatt and Juan Hernandez. It was a tough beat 2 years ago in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Has come into this winning the local prep. Dr. Schivel, 5-1.
Number 1.
Nakatomi.
Nakatomi inside post for the Wesley Ward trainee. Luis Saez tasked to ride. 15-1 on Nakatomi.
Number 5.
3 Technique.
Post position 5 for 3 Technique for trainer Jason Cook, who claimed this horse for $40,000 and has since rattled off multiple stakes win and gave his trainer his first graded stakes victory. Rafael Bejarano has the mount, 20-1 on 3 Technique.
Number 8.
Elite Power.
And your morning line favorite and defending champion, Elite Power, for trainer Bill Mott. Irad Ortiz Jr. looks to become just the 3rd horse to win the Breeders' Cup Sprint in multiple years, 9-5 on Elite Power. So that is another competitive edition of the Qatar Racing Breeders' Cup Sprint. A field of 9 entered, including 9-5 morning line favorite champion Elite Power. So that is the completion of the draw for the 14 races. Breeders' Cup, we have Future Stars Friday, of course, and Breeders' Cup Saturday, but because we just sped through that whole thing and we're about 10 minutes ahead of schedule, we should just keep people here, right?
No one believes that we're 10 minutes ahead of schedule in a post-position draw, do they?
No, probably not. But
hey,
can we bug people in the audience?
Yeah, but I've got one thing to do first.
Sure.
This is your specially designed set of Breeders' Cup silks, designed by Mike Smith, Trig Watson, our brilliant magician earlier. They both signed it, Hall of Famer Mike Smith and America's Got Talent finalist Trig Watson. Breeders' Cup 2023. Look at that, he's even put the apostrophe in the wrong place, which gives it a bit more charm. And we're gonna auction it now. We're auctioning it now, okay? You didn't see this coming, did you?
No, I didn't, and I'm not a great auctioneer.
The PDJF, the Professional Disabled Jockeys Fund.
Wonderful.
Okay, Permanent Disabled Jockeys Fund. Okay, just tell me a little bit, for those who aren't familiar, tell us a little bit about their work.
Well, the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund, and I should have Michael Joyce up here as one of the board members to talk about it, they are funded solely by your donations and support the men and women who are no longer able to ride because of injury that happened on the racetrack. So it is a wonderful, wonderful organization, and I do hope that we will open up our pockets out in the audience here for this wonderful Trig Watson, signed by Hall of Famer Mike Smith, to put money towards the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund.
I mean, literally money can't buy this, but we're going to give it a go here. Can I have the mic?
Yes, please do.
All right, where should we start?
For
the PDJF Hall of Famer Mike Smith. All right, he'll give me $1,000 for this. Can I see $1,000? Anywhere $1,000? 800.
I see a hand back
800 I have. So 800 I have here, just here. A bit of 800 straight away. Any advance on 800? 800 I have. I'm looking for 1,000.
No, we got 1,000.
1,000 I have.
Is that my
1,000,
boss, Kevin
1,200. 1,200 against you now. I'm
Yes.
out of 1,400 I have. 1,400 I have. 1,400. Do I have 50? I'll take one. 1,500 I have. 1,500. He'll give me 1,700. 1,700. Do I see it? 1,500 against you now, madam. 1,700 against you now. I've got the bidder here. I've got 1,500.
Craig Frable, Nate Newby.
Right in front of me now.
I'm going to call you out from here.
Have we got any advance?
Oh, we have another hand back there in the plaid
1,700
shirt.
fresh bidder. 1,700 against you now, sir. 1,700 fresh bidder. 1,700 I have. Any advance on 1,700? 1,700, then go to the man in the check shirt. PDJF, sir. You know it's a good cause. 1,700 against you now, then. Well, thank you for your help.
Don't miss
1,700. Have we got a fresh bidder?
Sold.
No, we've done it. Gone. Going once,
Sold.
twice. Fair warning then. Thanks for your help in the front row. 1,700, gentlemen in the check shirt. Thank you very much, sir. Here we go. It's all yours. Look at that. For the PDJF. I'll make sure it gets to its rightful home. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. You know what? You should just stay in the
It gets rid of the jet lag.
Where is Miss Jenna Antonucci, history maker, the first female to win a Triple Crown race with Arcangelo? There she is. Round of applause. She has Arcangelo coming up in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Second choice on the morning line. Really intrigued to hear not only how he is doing, but the thoughts on the post position.
Yeah, I'll never make an auctioneer. I hope I make a better interviewer right now. Shall we sit? Because I think I need to sit now. Do you think I need to sit after running up the aisle? You're in good form. You're in good form. What we want to know is, what do you think of the draw, the post position for Arcangelo in 1?
He's won from the one before.
Okay.
So that's what we think of it.
So no issues with 1 at all?
Nope.
Okay. Now, last couple of days, Arcangelo hasn't been able to get out onto the track. Just tell us what the issue's been and where we're at with it now.
It seems that everyone's quite stressed about this for us. So thank you, everybody, for your grave concern for us. Had a warm hind foot. Pull the shoe off. You know, horses love to see our schedules. They're rather inconvenient. So we'll be patient, always put the horse first and make sure he is 100%.
But do you feel at the moment pretty confident, as far as you can be, that he's in as good shape as you can get him, notwithstanding what you've just said?
He's rather annoyed with us right now, so yes.
But that's a good thing, isn't it? When he's annoyed, it means he's in good shape.
Yes, absolutely.
And you described him memorably to me earlier this week as, well, tell everybody how you described him.
A sarcastic teenager?
A sarcastic teenager. So just give us an idea of what his character is then.
I mean, everybody knows, and I'm sure everyone's tired of sitting here tonight. I'm just kidding. You guys have done a great job. No digs.
Talking of sarcastic,
okay.
Yeah.
We understand. I don't know where he gets it from. No, we're thrilled with him, and he has just a huge personality, as most know that have really cool colts. You know, if they're not being a little bit mean, they're being a little bit sarcastic, and these teenagers and college kids that we get to train, it's a blessing to all of us.
All right, well, there you go, Brittany. Jenna Antonucci, we're all incredibly stressed on Arcangelo's behalf because a lot of us are really rooting for you.
Well, we appreciate it.
But Jenna is as cool as a cucumber.
Cool, calm, and collected. I'm going to make you get up and run around because somebody else who's cool, calm, and collected and not going to love us interviewing him right now as he looks at his paper is Hall of Famer Todd Pletcher. You knew this was coming, didn't you, Todd? Multiple runners. He's on this side.
Where is he? Where is the great man?
Just run around.
Oh,
there
he's
we
there.
go. Thank you, Todd.
Sorry, Todd.
Multiple runners within this year's Breeders' Cup Classic, and of course, the last time it was run at Santa Anita, he got that Breeders' Cup Classic victory with Vino Rosso. So, thoughts on the runners within this field? We've got Dreamlike in post position 10 and Bright Future in 11.
And Dreamlike, you had the decision as well, Todd, to come here rather than the dirt mile. So what swayed you? Was it his good form or was it the strength of the opposition?
Well, we thought it was kind of an interesting pace scenario between the dirt mile. Actually seems to have less speed than the classic. So we felt like he wants a 1.25 miles and he wants a truly run race and he wants to drop back and make one run. So look, it's a tall order in either spot, but we just sort of felt like the complexion of the race might suit him better in the classic.
And Bright Future's chance for this race has been signaled from a little further out. He'd been bubbling away in people's calculations for the exotics, perhaps. What sort of form's the horse in?
He's in great form. You know, I think his last 2 races were really, breakthrough performances for him. And, Son of Curlin's supposed to get better as he matures, which we've seen. And, so we're very pleased with the way he's coming into it.
So I'm not going to make you go through every runner, don't worry, but I cannot leave without asking you about Up to the Mark in what is a truly, truly absorbing race for the turf. You're going in against what looks to be a great challenge from Europe. What swayed you in this direction rather than coming back to a mile?
Well, he's won grade ones this year at a mile, 1.125 and a 1.25 miles. I think you could argue that his Manhattan going 1.25 miles might have been his most impressive performance. We're getting firm ground. We just felt like, the mile can be a bit tricky. Post position could play a big order, and getting a trip can be difficult. So neither one was easy. We're taking on all challenges, and we're proud of our horse and the way he's been performing.
And the way he got himself out of jail at Keeneland against a serious horse in Master of the Seas. When I mention this horse, you kind of smile as if you've got a serious one on your hands. Is that how you're feeling?
Yeah, we really do. I mean, we've been blessed. He's had a remarkable season, and once we put him on the turf, he's excelled.
Todd, best of luck with all of them. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Todd Pletcher, ladies and gentlemen. I, for one, Brittany, cannot wait to see Up to the Mark in the turf.
As can I. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We are definitely not under after those interviews, thanks to Nick Luck. But just a big round of applause for all of the contenders here and 2 top-class days of racing. Future Stars Friday, Championship Saturday. You can watch all the racing action both on FanDuel TV on Future Stars Friday, USA Network, and then the longest amount of coverage on NBC. Primetime coverage leading up to the Breeders' Cup Classic, and the final 2 races, of course, will be on both FanDuel TV and Peacock. So a big thank you to our sponsors, Rood & Riddle Post Position Draw. We have James Kasparov, Jason Egan. Big thank you to them and all of you. Where is everybody off to? Cocktails and food?
Yes, cocktails and libation, you're right. Upstairs in the bar, we'll be there before you. See you in a moment. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That wraps up the 2023 Root and Riddle post position draw for the Breeders' Cup.
Established in 1982, Root and Riddle Equine Hospital is a worldwide leader in equine healthcare, providing a full menu of specialty